Hello students, today we are going to discuss modern or chemosynthetic theory of origin of life. This theory is also known as materialistic theory of origin of life. In our last lecture we studied about some basic concept of our universe, then we studied origin of our solar system, origin of earth, conditions on primitive earth, some theories of origin of life such as theory of special creation, theory of abiogenesis, theory of biogenesis, cosmozoic theory of origin of life, and catastrophic theory of origin of life. But today we are going to discuss the most accepted theory, that is modern hypothesis of origin of life. This theory was proposed by Russian biochemist Oparin in 1923, and after some time Halden also proposed the same theory in 1928. According to this theory, about 4200 million years ago, some chemical evolution was occurred through a series of chemical reaction in water bodies on primitive earth, having reducing environmental conditions. The environmental conditions were reducing because of no free oxygen was present at that time, and oxygen was present in bounded form, either with in the form of water or in the form of carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide. This chemical reaction, or we can say this chemical evolution, it was resulted in the origin of primitive life. Actually, what happened in this chemical reaction, the simply atoms, they combine to form molecules, which later on combine to form some simple organic compounds, which reacted further to form some complex organic compounds, and finally they organize to form a living cell. Now the question is, that this type of chemical evolution is possible under present conditions or not. Then the answer is no, this type of chemical evolution is not possible under present condition, because of the conditions of primitive earth, they are not same as the condition which are present on this time. This modern theory can be studied or can be divided into two basic steps. The very first step is chemogeny. Chemo means chemical, geny means evolution, that is chemical evolution, and the second step is biogeny, that is biological evolution. First of all, we are going to discuss chemogeny or chemical evolution. Approximately 4 billion years ago, the conditions on the primitive earth, they were reducing and they favored the chemical evolution at that time. In the very first step, there was formation of some simple inorganic molecules. As we know, at the time of origin of earth, the temperature was very high, and with passage of time the temperature was decreased, and various elements like carbon, nitrogen, hydrogen and oxygen, they simply reacted together to form some inorganic or organic compounds. The free existence of these elements was not possible at time because of a high temperature. At that time, the nitrogen was present in the form of ammonia, carbon was present in the form of methane, and oxygen was present in the form of water vapors or superheated steams. Because of high temperature, the water was existed only in the form of steam. There was no free molecular oxygen, that's why the condition on primitive earth, they was reducing. With the passage of time, the temperature was decreased and a solid crust was developed, having depressions and elevations. Due to decrease in temperature, the water vapors, they also condensed and they finally come to earth's surface in the form of rain. Water was collected in the depressions and dissolved the materials, dissolved the minerals, and finally formed large size water body called as oceans. Now the next step is formation of simple organic compound. With the decrease in temperature, the molecule and minerals present in water, they combined and recombined through the process of condensation, polymerization, and oxidoreduction to form some simple organic compounds like alcohol, aldehydes, glycerol, fatty acid, purines, pyrimidines, simple sugars, and some amino acids. The photograph is also showing the presence of some organic compound, that is simple organic compound like sugar, fatty acid, glycerol, amino acids, etc. Now we are going to discuss the possible way of formation of simple organic compound. In this direction, the very first is formation of hydrocarbons by combination of highly reactive groups like CH and CH2, which resulted in formation of acetylene, ethylene, methane, acetylene, etc. Then the second step is formation of oxy and hydroxy derivative of hydrocarbons like aldehyde, ketones, acids by reaction between hydrocarbons and superheated steam. For example, acetylene reacted with water and resulted in the formation of acetylaldehyde. And in the same way, the carbon monoxide reacted with water to form formic acid. Then the formation of monosugar like carbohydrates, glucose, fructose by oxidation of hydroxy derivatives of hydrocarbons. The next is formation of amino acids by combination of hydrocarbons, ammonia and water under the influence of free available energy at that time. In this, formaldehyde polymerized to form glycolaldehyde. The glycolaldehyde reacted with water to form glycol and glycolic acids. This glycolic acid further reacted with ammonia to form glycine, that is a amino acid. In this way, formation of amino acid was occurred. Now the formation of fatty acids and glycerol. The process of condensation and polymerization of aldehyde and ketones and their oxidation resulted in formation of fatty acids. For example, condensation of aldehydes resulted in formation of aldols. Also, acetylaldehyde they combined or reacted with water to form acetic acid and ethyl alcohol. Similarly, acetic acid and ethyl alcohol they again polymerized to form ethyl acetate and water. All the reaction which we have studied, they require some energy source. Now the question is, what why the energy source for such chemical reactions on primitive earth? And the answer is there are four possible type of energy sources which provided energy at that time. The very first source is solar radiation or ultraviolet radiation from the sun, as they were most abundant at that time because of there was no any ozone covering or protective covering around earth. The second source of energy by the electric discharge with lightning and thundering from the clouds, which also resulted in formation of various micro and macro molecules. The third one was volcanic eruption. They also produced a large amount of heat energy, which also speeded or increased the rate of chemical reactions. The fourth one is ionizing radiations and cosmic ray such as X-rays. They were the high energy radiations, and they also provided the energy for various chemical reactions. Halden proposed that all the chemicals, all the compounds, whether they are organic, inorganic, simple or complex, like carbohydrates, fat, amino acids and other compounds, they were accumulated in water body and formed a solution that was named as hot dilute soup. Due to absence of microbes at primitive earth, these molecules they were persisted for long time and got accumulated in water body to form a kind of broth or to form a kind of mixture. Presence of reducing condition, that is absence of oxygen, also favor the accumulation of these compounds. Such organic compound they could not accumulate in present condition because of a presence of a large number of microbes that degrade these compounds, or we can say the microbes they use these compounds as food. According to Halden, these organic compounds they accumulated in layer on mud or clay, which also provide a catalytic surface for the continuous chemical reactions. In the same direction, the next step is formation of complex organic compounds. In the hot dilute soup, the simple organic molecules they reacted together and polymerized to form some complex organic compounds like polysaccharides, which include starch, cellulose, glycogens, fat, nucleotides, nucleic acids, polypeptides, etc. Proteins and nucleic acids they are the main prime chemical compound of life. That's why their formation can be considered as landmark or important step in the process of origin of life. Some of the polypeptide or protein chains they acted as primitive enzyme and hence increased the rate of some chemical reactions and resulted in formation of some more complex chemical compounds. There are two hypotheses regarding the formation of proteins and nucleic acids. The first hypothesis is known as proteinoid hypothesis or protein theory, which state that protein molecules evolved first, while the naked gene hypothesis, the second one, it states that the nucleic acids they organized first and they control the formation of other proteins and enzymes. But out of these two theories, it appeared that the proteins and other molecules they must have appeared by some known enzymatic process. Further, due to absence of oxygen on primitive earth, the organic compound remained unspoiled. They reacted further to produce more complex and new compounds. Now, the next important step is the formation of coacervates. According to Operan and Fox, they suppose that the complex organic compounds they were synthesized abiogenetically on the primitive earth. Later on, these compounds they accumulated due to intermolecular attraction and formed larger colloidal cell-like structure called coacervates by Oparin, and it was named as microsphere by Fox. The coacervates or microspheres they were not cell, they were just cell-like structure. Similar type of structure we are presenting in the photograph. The first photograph showing the coacervates particles in a drop as seen under microscope, and the second one is the microspheres that were seen by Fox. These coacervates they were not living because they were not showing any type of biological reaction or biological process. They were just cell-like structure but not a complete cell. Out of these, some of coacervates they had self-replicating molecule at their center. In the coacervates, the protein molecules they aggregated into colloidal droplets due to attraction between a positively charged and polar groups on the surface of different polypeptide chains. The polar groups of these droplets they are hydrophilic, hence they resulted in the formation of water shell on their surface by some physical forces. Such colloidal droplets they join together by their water shells and to form coacervates, that is some large coacervates or large microsphere. The water film also acted as a membrane which allowed the increased change of chemical reaction or chemical interaction between the enclosed molecules. The water film also allowed absorption of proteins and other compounds selectively from the oceans. It means it acted as selectively permeable membrane. This further increased the chance of chemical reaction and growth of conservates. Out of these conservates, some of them they got naturally selected and they multiplied successfully as they had the power of growth and division by binary fission or budding. As the photograph is also showing some kind of binary fission in microsphere, budding in microsphere. The formation of conservates, it was the main step in the origin of life on primitive earth, and hence it has been regarded as the conservates are the primitive or precursor of first living organism. They acted as prebiotic structure or protobionts or protocells. They were not the cells, but they were just similar to cells. The conservates were formed approximately 3.8 million years ago. The fossil evidence of such type of structure or conservates have been found in rocks of Greenland and some African rocks. In this way, the chemogeny or chemical evolution resulted in a series of chemical reaction to form some kind of simple organic molecules, later on complex organic molecules, which reacted together to form a hot dilute soup. Then later on they recombine to form some primitive cell-like structure, that is conservates, that were also known as protocells or protobionts. Now the whole process of chemogeny can be summarized as the very first step is the formation of inorganic compounds like ammonia, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide and methane. These simple inorganic compounds they reacted together to form simple organic compounds like acetaldehyde, formic acids, carbohydrates, amino acids, etc. The simple organic compounds they further reacted to form complex organic compounds, which includes some polysaccharides, fat, nucleotides, nucleic acids, polypeptides or proteins. These complex organic compounds they accumulated in water body and formed a kind of solution or mixture, that is broth. Later on, some intermolecular attraction they occurred between these molecules and formed a cell-like colloidal structure called conservates by oparin and also known as microsphere, named by Fox. Later on, conservates they formed some kind of water shell on their surface. This water shell or water film acted as a membrane and allowed absorption of selected proteins and other compounds. This absorption of proteins and other compounds resulted in the growth of conservates, hence they increased their size up to certain limit. After attaining a certain size, the conservates they undergo division or multiplication to increase their number. After that, the natural selection was operated to select some conservates having power of growth and division. Such kind of selected conservates they multiplied by binary fission or budding. In this way, conservates were formed, and that were the end product of the process of chemogeny. In the next step, the conservates they undergo some biological evolution, that is known as biogeny, that we will discuss in our next lecture. Thank you.